Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really significant. How artificial intelligence looks set to completely change warfare and, well, global politics too.
Yeah, it's a huge topic. We're mainly drawing from Paul Schar's book, AI for Battlegrounds. It's a really solid piece of work.
Absolutely. Consider this our mission for you today. Understand the big shifts AI is bringing to security and conflict. That's the goal.
And we'll also fold in some ideas from responsible AI and rules.
Hmm.
That's by some Japanese researchers, just to add a bit more perspective.
Right. And look, we know everyone listening has different levels of tech knowledge. Don't worry. We'll keep it clear, insightful, without drowning you in jargon.
Exactly. The aim is to pull out what's crucial here.
So let's maybe start with a bit of history. How we measure power, right? Before the Industrial Revolution, it was often just population. Bigger population, bigger army. Simple.
hmm Then industry changed everything. Suddenly it was about factories, production capability, making the weapons became key. Think World War II Allied industrial strength was a massive factor.
Definitely. Then came the information revolution. IT, software,
Yeah.
that became the edge.
The 1991 Gulf War really showed that technological gap, especially those U.S. precision weapons.
Yeah, the difference in outcomes was just staggering. It really proved the power of IT on the battlefield.
So that sets the stage. Now we're in this, let's call it the AI revolution, really kicking off in the 2020s.
And the big question for this deep dive is, how does this revolution transform everything again? Warfare, tech, logistics, international relations, the whole picture.
Where better to start than air combat? Shar opens his book with a pretty eye-opening example.
Yeah, tell us about that, the Falcon AI.
Right, Falcon, an AI agent developed by Heron Systems. In simulations, it just consistently beat experienced human F-16 pilots in dogfights.
Dogfight, so close-in aerial combat, maneuvering for a shot.
Exactly. And this AI wasn't just good, it showed, like, superhuman precision. Flying, in combat, it optimized everything the plane could do.
Optimized. How so?
Well, for instance, it didn't waste fuel on unnecessary maneuvers. Every move was calculated for maximum effect, something even the best human pilots struggle with.
So it's pushing the aircraft to its absolute limits, maybe beyond what a human pilot could even handle.
That's a key point. And get this, the AI often used head-on shooting, flying straight at the opponent, guns blazing.
Isn't that incredibly dangerous? Like collision risk.
Extremely. It's basically banned for U.S. Air Force pilots in training for that very reason. But the AI, it calculated the risk differently, or maybe not in the human sense at all, and used it effectively.
Because it doesn't have that self-preservation instinct, and it doesn't black out from G-forces either, right?
Precisely. It can pull maneuvers that would incapacitate a human. Shar quotes a technician saying something like, "Humans will always be the limiting factor in the cockpit."
Wow. That really paints a picture of the future.
And while AI pilots aren't perfect yet, the trend seems pretty clear towards unmanned combat aircraft.
We've already seen experiments, haven't we? Unmanned planes landing on carriers, refueling autonomously.
Exactly. Those aren't just lab tests anymore. They're proving the concepts.
So, pilot skill. Still vital today, obviously. But down the line, the outcome of an air battle might depend more on whose AI learns faster and performs better.
It certainly looks that way. The AI's capabilities become the defining factor.
Okay, so that's individual aircraft. But this scales up, right? It's not just about smarter planes.
Right. And remember, Heron Systems, who made Falcon, they were acquired by a bigger AI company, Shield AI.
Ah,
And the vision, the near future expectation, is for autonomous weapons that can run the whole kill chain themselves.
the kill chain. Explain that a bit.
It's the process. Find a target, identify it, decide to attack, actually attack, and confirm neutralization.
Yeah.
The idea is AI doing all of that, potentially without a human needing to approve each step, the unmanned kill chain.
So AI processing battlefield data instantly, picking the best tactics and executing them faster than any human could react.
That's the potential, yes. Driven by better algorithms, neural network systems, kind of modeled on how our brains work, learning and adapting.
It sounds like a massive shift in the speed of war.
It could be. Now, don't get me wrong. Traditional hardware tanks, ships, planes, ammo, it all still matters. The war in Ukraine makes that brutally clear.
Sure.
But the relative importance is shifting towards the systems, the software, the algorithms controlling that hardware. It's becoming more about the intelligence directing the force.
Which leads us naturally to coordination, right? How AI might manage groups of units, this idea of swarming.
Exactly. AI-powered command and control could totally change how units work together. Swarming means lots of units, maybe different kinds, all moving independently but coordinated by AI, acting like a single entity.
Like a flock of birds, you mentioned. All moving separately but perfectly in sync.
That's a good analogy. Think attack or defense, but highly coordinated, very rapid.
Because right now, especially on the ground, you have limits. You worry about friendly fire if units maneuver too close or too chaotically.
Precisely. That limits tactical possibilities.
Yeah.
Shar uses a thought experiment.
Right.
Imagine a soccer team with 100 players. Total chaos, right?
Yeah, probably tripping over each other.
But what if AI could coordinate all 100? Every pass, every run, perfectly timed, super fast. That's the kind of potential we're talking about with military swarming. Hundreds, maybe thousands of units making independent moves, but all part of one instantaneous unified plan.
So what kind of tactics become possible then?
Well, you could have units spread out, hard to target,
Yeah.
then boom, they converge simultaneously from all directions. Very hard to defend against.
It sounds like something out of science fiction almost.
Well, the idea of swarming isn't brand new in military thought, but AI adds a whole new dimension. The speed, the scale, the ability to regroup and attack again almost instantly, it's qualitatively different.
And this isn't just drones in the air?
No, potentially across all domains,
Yeah.
air, land tanks, infantry, sea, coordinated swarms everywhere.
And Sharp predicts small drone swarms will just become standard.
Yeah, a standard tool. We're already seeing hints, maybe, with drone use in Ukraine or by Israeli forces in Gaza, though we don't always know the level of AI sophistication involved in those current uses.
Okay, this is a lot. Air combat transformed, autonomous weapons, swarming tactics. What's the fundamental reason Shar gives for AI being such a game changer here?
It really boils down to one thing: overcoming human cognitive limitations.
Our brains just can't keep up.
Essentially, yes. Think about those swarming attacks. They can simply overwhelm a defender's ability to track everything, process it, and react effectively.
Okay, that makes sense.
And look at how armies are structured. Squads are small, maybe 7 to 14 soldiers.
Mm.
Then platoons, companies, battalions. It's hierarchical.
Right.
That structure exists largely because there's a limit to how many people one commander can effectively manage and direct. It's a human cognitive bottleneck.
Like a store manager can handle one store, a regional manager, a few dozen, but the CEO can't directly run hundreds. Span of control.
Exactly the same principle. But Shar argues that with AI, maybe those hierarchies become less necessary, even obsolete.
How?
If AI can instantly analyze the whole situation and disseminate the optimal tactics to all units simultaneously, you bypass those human communication and decision-making layers.
So the time it takes for orders to go up and down the chain, that delay disappears.
Potentially. Those processes, top-down decisions, bottom-up feedback, they take time. In an AI-driven conflict, that time lag could be fatal. AI might enable near-instantaneous optimized action across the entire force.
Because it can process all the information, something no human commander could ever do in real time.
That's the core idea. Real-time processing of everything relevant, leading to superior situational awareness, accuracy, coordination, and speed.
If AI really delivers on that promise,
Right.
the advantage on the battlefield seems, well, enormous.
It certainly points towards significant potential shifts in military effectiveness.
Which brings us back to the kill chain and how AI speeds it up.
Right. AI could drastically shorten the time from spotting a target to hitting it. Automation is fundamentally about speed.
And waiting for a human okay at each step, that adds delay.
It does. In fast-moving combat, that delay could mean missing a fleeting opportunity or allowing a threat to get closer. The drive is for faster execution to gain an advantage.
Of course, that speed, especially in the decision to use lethal force, that raises huge ethical questions.
Absolutely. The whole debate around autonomous weapons and the decision to kill without direct human intervention is a massive ongoing discussion. We're mainly focused on the capability shift today, but the ethical dimension is inseparable.
Understood. So let's try to pull the threads together. What are the headline shifts we've discussed from Shar and the other sources?
We've looked at AI potentially dominating air combat, the move towards autonomous weapons executing the full kill chain, and this revolutionary idea of AI-powered swarming across different domains.
An underlying theme seems to be AI pushing military operations beyond what humans are cognitively capable of managing or reacting to.
That's a great way to put it. Surpassing human limits in speed, coordination, and situational awareness.
Which obviously has massive implications for, well, everything. International security, arms control talks, maybe even how we define conflict itself.
Definitely. These aren't just technical upgrades. They could reshape the strategic landscape profoundly.
So here's something for you, the listener, to really chew on. Given everything we've talked about AI's potential to fundamentally change warfare, what are the most urgent, strategic, ethical, and geopolitical questions we all need to be wrestling with right now before these technologies become even more widespread and advanced?
It's a critical question to consider.
Indeed. Lots to think about there. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.